All right, over to you, Jane, if you can give an introduction to our presenter today.
Sure. So today we are going to have some recaps on RealSam, Blindshell, and Smart Vision iPhone, things that we've done so far. And I thought that we would get started with RealSam. I know that people had a few more questions from the last presentation. So Carmen, I thought we would start off with you. And as you wrap up, then Diane will pick up for any Blindshell questions. And then if others have questions on other.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna write down also all the questions to make sure that get them addressed. Jane, are you there?
Yeah.
We can't really hear her.
No, I think she froze. Or she's really good at staying still.
No, she is breaking up. She is breaking up.
The opportunity.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, goodness.
yeah, she is
Can-
breaking up.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's coming
Her
back.
connection is disconnected. So I guess I'm just going to take the gist of it since this is a recap session. I guess we want to start with RealSam device first. Does anyone have any questions about RealSam in particular that we would like to first get addressed? Feel free to either raise your hand or unmute so we can call on you. Oh, let me just double check. Jane, are you back? Not yet. Okay, we'll give her a minute.
Okay, can I just start off with something?
Go ahead, Carmen. Yes.
Oh, so if you guys, thank you guys first of all for having me again. And you know, I don't know if you guys are tired of listening to me talk, but thank you for still putting up with me. But so last week or the week before, we talked about the customer portal and that it was a very good way of working with some of the end users, some of the clients, because you know, family members, caregivers can actually log into the customer portal and they're able to help somebody out. But you know, what I showed you guys, it required somebody getting on their computer, and not everybody has a computer, and you know, all the fun stuff we know. But I just want to hi Jane.
Hello, sorry about that. Okay, you all go ahead.
I was actually just saying that you were either frozen or really good at staying still. So so one of the new thing I have to show you guys is there is a way to add the customer portal onto a caretaker's cell phone, like if it were an app. So you can help somebody right there, right next to them. So let's say you want to help somebody add books. You can just be sitting right next to them. You can be on your standard iPhone or Android and helping your blind parent, as an example. So I think this is going to be very useful. I'm going to send out the instructions, but I wanted to show you guys right now. Let me do something here. So I don't know. I know not everybody's going to be able to see these icons, but I have an icon that says login RealSam. If I tap on it, I get I don't know if that's good, but you get to see the front page of the customer portal and are able to work with it right from your phone. I'm gonna send both Vishnu and Jane some, like, the instructions of how to log in. 'Cause I think this is really, really positive. So, other than that, I know that we didn't get much time to talk about media and books and radio and podcasts, and I can talk about that, but if there are any questions regarding making phone calls, receiving phone calls, adding contacts, and sending and receiving text messages, if you guys can let me know so I can address those right now. You can either unmute yourself, or Desmond, you unmuted yourself.
Hey, so I was wondering if you would be able to talk about connecting to Wi-Fi again and how to get the voice during that process.
Okay. Let me get my phone turned on. And I'm going to, I guess, walk everyone through how to do it via the cited menu and how to do it just with voice. That way I cover both areas. Does that sound like a plan?
We'll find out.
When you say with voice, you're talking about the voice output, right? Like the kind of a readout.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm just getting my phone started. So what I'm gonna do
Real Sam Pocket by Real Thing AI.
is I'm first gonna go to, and I'm gonna show how to do this via the cited menu. So I'm gonna go to the hamburger menu, or the 3 lines at the top left of the phone, and I'm gonna drag my finger down.
Showing main menu. Move your finger around the screen until you hear the item you want and then release. Call contact, call number, settings, help and support. Showing help and support menu.
I don't want to speak while the phone is speaking, so that's why I'm staying quiet. And hopefully just by what the phone is saying, you guys can get the idea.
User guide, tutorials, sighted assistance menu. Showing menu for sighted assistance. This section is designed for users with sight or sighted assistance. Press the top button at any time to return to normal operations. Visual user guide. Visual Wi-Fi settings. I have brought up the Wi-Fi settings window. First, I am now connected to Wi-Fi network Chipajay.
So in this case, you know what? I'm gonna turn off my overhead light because I think it's gonna make it easier for somebody to see. Well, that didn't do much. So if we get to the Wi-Fi setting that way through the L menu, then help and support, then cited menu, cited assistance, sorry, and Wi-Fi setup, then we get to the menu where we're accustomed to, where we can turn Wi-Fi on and off, and we can see what Wi-Fi is available, what are the different Wi-Fi's around. And then when we tap on one, I'm just gonna tap on a different one, then we get the enter password and we just proceed as standard. So that is the way that you can do it under the visual screen if you needed to do it that way. Now, I know most of you are interested in how to do it. If I'm gonna just tap talk and have it do everything via just voice activation. So gonna tap to talk, connect to Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi configuration canceled.
Sorry. Connect to Wi-Fi.
Configuring Wi-Fi. Please wait. Scanning for Wi-Fi access points. Please wait. I have now put the list of available access points on the screen. Move your finger around the screen until you hear the one you want and then release. Select the Forget button at the bottom of the list to forget a network. Select the Cancel button at the bottom of the list to cancel.
So I'm just gonna scroll through the screen until I find the one that I want.
Chip secured saved signal 100%. Cali,
And I selected Cali, which I'm from Cali in South America, so that's why I have that. And right off the bat, I got a keyboard. This one came up as a complete 40 keyboard, but in some cases it won't come up like that. But at the bottom, you can select
switch to alphabetic keyboard. Switch to symbols. Switch to alphabetic keyboard. Done. Switch to uppercase. Switch to symbols. Switch to alphabetic keyboard. Switch, cancel. Nothing to delete.
So I just did that so you guys can hear what happened. So there's options for me to switch between different keyboards. And right over here with the QWERTY keyboard, we can do as we've done with other menu options, where we can just scroll through the different keyboard and select what the password is. After that's done, there's an option for done, and then it's going to connect to Wi-Fi. Part of the reason why I'm not doing it right now is because it's already connected to one of my Wi-Fi networks, and I don't really remember the password for the other one. So I can't do that right now, but it should be easy to do. When I say should, nothing in this world is the way we think it's going to be. So there might be a little bit of trial and error, but if initially the keyboard that comes up is not the one that you want, you can select at the bottom and you can swap it out to the keyboard that you do want.
Done. Switch to alphabetic keyboard. Showing portrait alphabetic keyboard.
So if I wanted to switch to alphabetic keyboard, then I would just select that and I would get the alphabetic keyboard. And if I want to go back to QWERTY, I just
cancel.
Scroll to the bottom.
Switch to QWERTY keyboard. Done. Switch to QWERTY. Showing landscape lowercase QWERTY keyboard.
Okay. So that is how you do it via voice activation. Do you guys, are there
scanning for Wi-Fi access points? Please wait.
Are there any questions?
I have now put the list of available access points on the screen. Wi-Fi config cancel.
Hi, Jane.
Hi. Is the option to speak in the password also possible?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, thank you.
I just
Welcome.
have
Jessica.
never been able to get the screen reader going whenever I tell it to activate or to bring up the list of Wi-Fi. And then when I move my finger down the screen, I get nothing.
Okay, and this, so this phone has never been connected to Wi-Fi and it does not have a SIM card. And you're tapping on the tap to talk to connect to Wi-Fi and it's just not doing anything for you, correct?
Right.
Okay. One of the other ways of doing it, instead of just tapping and saying connect to Wi-Fi, would be to go through the L menu. If you guys remember, the L menu is at the top left of the phone, and you scroll down, and you also can reach a menu for Wi-Fi connectivity. And you can do it that way. It doesn't have to be either the complete voiceover or cited. There is an in between. So I'm just gonna
So,
demonstrate.
I tried that. I got nothing.
The screen until you hear the item you want and then release. Showing settings menu.
So when I did the L menu, I went to settings, and then if you, at the top, it says,
Configuring Wi-Fi. Please wait. Scanning for Wi-Fi access points. Please wait. I have now put the list of available access points on the screen. Move your finger around the screen until you hear the one you want and then release. Wi-Fi configuration canceled.
okay, yes, Jane?
Well, Carmen, can I mention something here? I'm curious, as far as the real sound, are these phones being set up and configured at the distribution center and then sent to the MAP program, or when they're sent, they're already fully set up for people to just turn them on and they're supposed to work?
They do not have SIM cards in them.
Right. I'm curious because I know we ran into a problem with the Pixel 6a. It was set up at the Rouse Mobility Distribution Center, and it was sent out, but talkback wasn't coming on. That was because the Google TTS had to be initiated first, and then it would start working. So I'm wondering if that's maybe an issue why people, like even myself, I'm not able, and I'm pretty techie, to get the get speech working when I turn the real Sam on at all. I'm not able to get any kind of audible feedback, even though I am able to click on the speak button to give it a voice command. I can hear that it did something, but nothing is being read on the screen. So something configuration wise is not initiated. So we're not able to get any speech at all, at least with the
Right.
phones we currently have.
That's a good point. They're not configured when they're out and they don't have SIM cards in them. It's
Right.
almost like, why don't they have SIM cards included? Because
Yeah.
our phone is unlocked, so there's a lot of areas where they want one service provider versus a different service provider.
Right.
So if we put that in there, then that kind of cancels that out. But you're right. You know, I think, Jane, maybe we can troubleshoot this so that we're not having as big a problem. I think, you know, going the completely cited way is a good way. However, it's not going to be good for everyone. So we need to come up with another option. I think doing the L menu, going to settings, and then configuring Wi-Fi.
If you can't hear it, it's not going to do any good.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Okay.
can't hear that, so I don't know that. I don't know where the L menu is. I mean, you can tell me it's up in the left-hand corner, but how far up? I mean, you know, to the little bit to the right, a little bit down. It's not giving me any information.
Right. You're absolutely right. You know what? that gives me a good idea because I think it would be best if I provide that information in writing to Jane and I exactly measure how far the 3 lines are from the top so that we can have a good idea. What I usually
To have
do,
a sighted person turn this on, set the Wi-Fi up.
that would
Yeah.
be the easiest way. However, we
It
need
would have been a
to,
big help had we known this before we started the training. You know, from the time we were in Baltimore till we came
Mhm.
home, if we had known it that day, we could have all found somebody.
Hey Cindy, it's Jane. Yeah, I know, and I
No, I'm
apologize.
just saying
It's
it's,
just
I've
like we're
gotten
learning as we
so,
go along.
I'm so frustrated. You know, you have all these phones and only one is really working well, and that's the Blindshell.
Mhm. Yeah, I think this has been a learning process for all of us. And I know it doesn't help right now with the frustration, but I think it can help us moving forward. So Cindy, the short answer to that is unfortunately, right now, yes, the best option is to find a sighted person to help you connect to Wi-Fi. I know that's not the politically correct way of doing it. That's not the best way. But right now, if we want to solve for frustration, that would be the best way of doing it. And then Jane and I can get together and figure out how to proceed for the next phones that are provided.
Yeah, I would love to see how these phones, like, say for instance, I was just a regular consumer going on a site and I purchased a real Sam and you sent it to the home brand new and I opened it up and turned it on. I'm curious how functional it would be in comparison to the phones we're getting in large distribution. I would love to see if there's a difference because I think sometimes with these phones, even though it's trying to be really helpful to the trainers and the consumers, when you pre-program them with so many apps and settings, sometimes things can get messed up in the pipeline that can cause the phone not to function fully. But if you
That's
just
true.
send it as a brand new phone and just leave it up to the trainer just to set up, sometimes it's easier. I know it may not seem like it is, but it's easier just to set up as a new phone and go through the settings and then you're done. And you probably wouldn't have to deal with all these different snags here.
Yes, you're correct. And what I also suspect, and this is what we thought with the last meeting we had, is what I suspect also happened is the phone will tell you to connect it to Wi-Fi, but I imagine that everybody at some point, whether it was during the meeting or the week after, opened the box up, took the phone out, turned the phone on, and at that point, the phone mentioned about connecting to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And it mentioned it several times. However, lo and behold, we didn't account for the fact that, you know, it was a lot of people getting a lot of phones at the same time, and you weren't in a situation to add to Wi-Fi. So then you put the phone down, you pick it up a few weeks later, and now the phone's not saying anything because it figured, hey, I already told you to connect to Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so we learned that from the last meeting we had, and we understand that we need to account for a situation like that. And I think that's what we're dealing with. And I would even go on a limb and say that that's what we're dealing with right now, not only with Real Sam, but with some of the other phones out there.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, for whatever it's worth, I was able to use, and I'm a blind person. I'm a totally blind person, and I was able to use the configure Wi-Fi voice command to configure my RealSam and connect to my Wi-Fi. So that part worked for me. The part that's not working for me is the L. Now, I worked with another person on this phone, and that L command was working just fine, and we really didn't have a problem with it at all. The difference between my phone and that other person's phone was that that person had a SIM card and was up and running. So I am curious to find out if simply having the phone set up with the SIM card already installed and all of that might give you a different set of results.
That could very well be, because if you already have the SIM card installed and everything, it already has data going to it. So you don't need to initially connect it to a Wi-Fi or do anything else. You also have all the commands working. So, Ansel, when you were working with somebody and doing the L menu and you said your phone wasn't working with the L menu and somebody else's was, you also mentioned that you had connected your phone to Wi-Fi.
Yes, I was able to connect my phone to Wi-Fi, and the manual that I found on the web told me the same thing, and you told me that. I went and did it, and it worked. It did work for me. So I was very pleased about that. But the part that was not working was with the L. The L did seem to work maybe 1 or 2 times that I tried it,
I wasn't
and then
speaking.
it didn't work after that. And I'm not sure why. So I'm getting some some inconsistent results with that. So I do plan to get a SIM card for it and see if the performance improves once the SIM card is all set up. And we'll see what happens at that time.
Okay.
When we say
Um,
L menu, you're talking about making an L gesture, right? Like
Yes.
down and to
Correct.
the right
Down
or
and
something.
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
1 second. I just wanted to be respectful of, I had Jane whose hand is up for a while, and I know in
Oh.
between we had Tiffany, who also had her hand up. Do you have any questions, Tiffany? Tiffany?
Yes, I just wanted to make an observation.
Okay.
When I connected my phone, when I turned my Real Sam on, at first I couldn't tell if it was on because you don't get the same audio feedback when you're connected to Wi-Fi than when you're not connected to Wi-Fi. So I saw there was a little like a spinning I don't
Mhm.
know, a little spinning thing. I could see that, so I knew it was on. So after a while, I'm thinking it may have been updating, and when I touched the talk button, it gave me the audible tone. So then I just said connect to Wi-Fi, and then after that, it was able to proceed with speech. So that was my observation, that if you touch the bottom for that talk button, and you hear that audible tone, then you know the phone is on and ready to be engaged with. If you don't, then it probably either isn't on or it might be in an update process. And in addition, people are talking about, phones being configured. Well, the Real Sam phone really doesn't have anything to configure out of the box because you talk to it to configure it. So it's not like the phones with the Gmail accounts on them. That's my thought on it.
Thank you, Tiffany. Actually, you're 100% correct on all of that.
Okay.
I do think it was updating, and then once it was done updating, then you were able to proceed with it.
Yes.
Correct. Jane, you had your hand up.
Sorry, yeah, that was just a question from before, so I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. So I would love to continue on with some questions. I do notice we're 30 minutes in. So Vishnu, I don't know what you want to do. Do you want me to continue, or
Yeah,
what would
thank
you
you for, bringing that to my attention. I was thinking that maybe we should switch over to Blindshell and give some opportunity to people to ask questions on that. Jane, are you good with that? Do we have
Yeah,
any more
yes.
last minute questions that anyone would like to ask to Carmen for Real Sam?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What about resetting the phone? Is there a magic command that I can use to simply reset the Real Sam to factory settings?
No, I can work with you on that,
Okay,
but
no problem.
there isn't precisely a setting like that, and we are very weary of taking it to sometimes some of the network providers, some of their stores, because in a lot of cases they wanted to reset the phone, and what they've done is they have wiped the whole
Oh.
phone out. So we can talk about that later, Ansel.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Thank you so much, Carmen, for giving your time today, answering all those tough questions. I would like to ask Diane from Blindshell to sort of help answer some of the questions that, you know, our members might have for the Blindshell device. Over to you, Diane.
Sure, thank you. Before I get into questions, I'm thinking that many of you received the email today that we have a new app added to Blindshell, and that is Script Talk. So if somebody is getting their prescriptions at their pharmacy and they are using Script Talk, then you can now use those with your Blindshell. And I'll just go through that really quick to show you in case that is something that somebody needs to do. So I have a sample label here. So I'm going to go into applications, and I'm going to hit OK.
Internet browser.
And when you download the Script Talk app, it's going to be placed into the Vision Aids section of the phone. So I will go to that.
Media, books, games, Vision Aids.
Hit OK. And
Explorer,
because I know that it's an S and that's closer to the bottom, I'm just going to go up with the top bar.
Script Talk Mobile.
And I'm going to hit OK on Script Talk Mobile.
Script Talk Mobile.
So I'm going to use the lower bar.
Full scan, unchecked.
Because I could either do a full scan of this or I could do
quick scan.
A quick scan. And I'll show you the quick scan first. So I'm going to put the back of the phone is where you're going to find the reader for Script Talk. So I'm just going to put the back of the phone by the label. It doesn't have to be touching it, but just in that area.
Script Talk Mobile.
Come on now.
Amoxicillin
there we go.
250. Amoxicillin 250 milligrams capsule.
So when you
Script
put the phone to the label, you're going to hear a pop up, and then it's going to read what it is. So this is amoxicillin. Now, if I wanted to get more information about what this label is,
first item, full scan.
I'm going to click on full scan. I'm going to hit OK.
Full scan.
And I'm going to pop up.
Script Talk Mobile.
Okay, so then you have to use the lower bar.
Full scan, checked. Quick scan, image. Button, click to activate. Button, last item.
It didn't do it. Hold on, maybe I didn't click the button.
Quick, Script Talk Mobile, full scan, checked. Full scan.
Okay.
Script Talk Mobile. Button, click to activate. Back. Prescription information.
Okay, so now I'm just going to hit the lower bar.
Patient name, John Smith. Prescription number, 12345. Click to hear pronunciation. Medication, amoxicillin 250 mg capsule. Instructions, take one daily.
So what the full scan is going to do is it gives you all the information about that prescription. So anything that's on those papers that are stapled to your prescription bag, you're going to find all that information here. It's going to give you the dose. It's going to give you the expiration date, all that kind of stuff. So that is our new app that just was released today. So I just wanted to quickly show you that. So now if anybody has any questions.
Diane's Jane here. So you were saying that it's gonna read all the side effect information as well
Yep,
without having
mhm.
to look at that? It
Stay.
just through
Go
the
back.
label?
Go back. Yeah, let me see.
Full scan. Check. Quick scan image. Button.
See if
Click
it's
to
still here,
activate.
if I have to
Button.
redo it.
Button. Click last item.
Okay, I
Button.
have to
Button.
redo it.
Image. Script Talk mobile logo. Button. Click to activate. Button. Click to act. Button. Image. Quick scan. Uncheck. Full scan. Check. Full scan. Quick scan. Image. Script Talk mobile logo. Button. Click to activate.
So
image.
I'm
Quick
gonna do
scan.
full
Uncheck.
self-disclosure. I
Full
broke
scan.
my blind shell
Check.
today.
Script Talk mobile.
I
Full
cracked
scan.
it.
Check.
So it's
Script Talk
kind of
mobile.
like being a little funky.
Full scan.
Just
Check.
kidding.
Quick scan. Full scan.
Yeah,
Full
so
scan.
it's kind of acting a little
Script Talk mobile.
funky than it should be here. So
Script Talk mobile. Full scan. Quick scan. Image.
oh my gosh,
Quick scan. Full scan.
come on
Full
now.
scan.
Full scan. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Script Talk mobile.
Diane, this is Vishnu.
Mhm.
Script
I'm just
Talk mobile.
observing the
Button.
screen
Click to
and your
activate.
hand,
Back.
with the little card that you're
Prescription
Yeah.
and patient
So
name.
I got it
John
now.
Smith.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think my hand
Prescription
was in
number.
the way of
1,
the
2, 3.
thingy.
Click to hear
So,
pronunciation
yep, so
instruction.
I'll go
Quantity.
down.
Fill date. June 30th, 2023.
Okay, so it gives you the fill date,
Expiration date.
expiration
June
date,
30th, 2024.
the expiration date.
Refilled remaining. 0. Prescriber. Drive. Casey. Scriptability. Click to activate. Warning. Important. Finish all this medication unless otherwise directed by prescriber. Other information. This is a sample audible prescription label.
Okay, so maybe this one won't have it on. But yes, it will give
Click
you,
to activate. And
all-
labeled item. Last item.
this one won't have it on because it's a sample one, but yes, it will give you all the side effects and all that kind of stuff. Yes.
Thank you. That's great.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's, we're really pleased to have it on there. We worked very hard with, Envision America, Script Talk to get it on and released. So,
Diane, this is Marguerite. I have a quick question.
sure.
Today, I also saw an email that talked about being able to purchase the Blindshell through your prescription card or your medical card. I
Yes,
don't know.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So some insurance plans give you a certain amount of money either every week or on a, I'm sorry, every month or on a yearly basis. They might say you have $500 on your medical card to spend. So that can be used to purchase a Blindshell.
We have a
That's
hands
great.
up from Desmond as well. Oh,
Hey, Diane.
does
Hey,
that
Desmond.
answer your question,
Um,
Marguerite? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was just going to say that's great, especially if people maybe who are not blind and aren't eligible for the MAT program.
Okay,
They can still get it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead, Desmond, with your question.
Is there a way we could get like a sample script tag or something to demonstrate that? Is there
Yes, so if you contact Envision America and you can let them know that you are training people on the Blindshell, they'll send you sample tags. That's where I got mine from.
okay, good deal.
Next, we have a question from Ansel.
Yeah. Hi, Diane.
Hey, Ansel.
I have a question about the Script Talk setup. did work with Envision America some time ago on this. So is it still the same system where you, I guess you go to a pharmacy that provides this tag on your medication,
Exactly.
and it
Yes.
takes,
Go ahead.
1 or 2 days or how many days to get it to you, and then you can just, I guess, read it with this device, with this.
Yeah, so it depends on the pharmacy. Many of the pharmacies are already doing it. They have them there. You just let them know that you require script talk labels on your prescriptions. Accessible Pharmacy is a really good option for people because they send everything through the mail and they can do script talk labels on theirs as well.
And outside of script talk, I had a question.
Yep.
Some time ago, you had answered a question for me regarding regarding a SIM card that I can purchase that's really inexpensive. What was the name of that again?
Tello, Tello.
Tello. Okay, I wrote
Yeah,
it down
Tello.
somewhere and I couldn't find it.
So yeah, and in the meantime, since I told you that, Tello has now doubled their data that you receive, but kept the price the same. So for example, on my Blindshell, I was paying $7 and I got unlimited texting, 100 minutes of talk, and 1 gigabyte of data, which I was fine with because I'm mostly on Wi-Fi anyway. But now for that same $7, I get the unlimited texting, I get the 100 minutes of talk, but now I get 2 gigabytes of data.
So Tello is part of which network?
T-Mobile.
It's T-Mobile also.
Yeah. So if you get a Tello SIM card, you can put it in any one of the phones that
So
we've been
I'm
going through. Yeah.
hoping to put it in the real set, phone.
Yep.
So that works.
Yeah.
It works on the Real Sam.
It does, right. Now the thing is that when you go to one of these places to get your SIM card, will they know how to work with this phone to set this thing up? And if they don't, how do you get it set up? Do I just call you, Carmen, to do this? Because I think you were talking about which I think there's like 3 different slots, and I think you said the ideal one was the middle one. Or was that another phone?
That was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know what it is for the Real Sam.
Are there go ahead.
Yeah, and we can talk about that, and I can guide you.
Okay.
That way, because I don't want to take the time away from the other phones, but I will guide you on what to do with yours. And Tello, you can purchase it online.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can talk about that.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions for Diane for Blindshell? I also want to just give a quick reminder to everyone here that we have been recording all of these sessions, and those recordings are posted on UME website on YouTube channel, which are freely available to watch. So, if you did miss any session, you were looking for any questions and wanted to go back and sort of, freshen up on that phone or device, if it was covered early on in the series, feel free to do so. And we'll be sharing that link in the follow-up email that Jane will be sharing. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. If we don't have any more questions for Diane, and if we still have Kenneth here, do we
Yes,
have
I'm
any
still here.
questions for Kenneth? Kenneth, are you available to answer?
Well, sure. I'm available to answer any questions on Smart Vision 3. I did want to bring up a few things about it that I may have not mentioned in the 2 sessions I had, but I can address any questions too.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and start with what you wanted to share with the group?
Yeah, actually, one thing I've observed in the last week or so, there are a lot of apps that were taking some time to get to Android, seeing AI, and a feature for Be My Eyes called Be My AI, which seemed to be on a fast track to Android. I can actually say that Being AI is now available on the Be My Eyes app for Android, which means it's also available on the Smart Vision 3. I used it, I've tested it, it works just fine, just like it does on the iPhone. Seeing AI probably will be in the Android Google App Store in January, and that more than likely will function the same way it does on the iPhone device. I also want to mention a feature that could be quite handy. I'm going to turn on my Smart Vision 3. Okay, by tapping a button at the top. Let's turn it back on. Let me unlock it. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to settings by hitting the menu button. And I know I was taking a long way to go through some of these menus, but I should have mentioned that you can actually use the search feature at the top. I'm gonna demonstrate something. Maybe you're receiving the Amber Alerts that are pretty loud, can sometimes be startling, and you may want to disable it so you don't hear it. When I did, I selected Enter on the search field. I'm going to use the dictation button on the side, Amber Alerts. I'm gonna hit the center button, okay, to place the information. And then I'm gonna arrow down. Okay, I'm gonna select the OK button on that. And what that will do is put you in a wireless emergency alerts page where you can go down to options. You can turn them all off. I wouldn't recommend turning all of them off, but if you choose that you don't want to hear anything, you can just toggle that off. I'm not sure what some of these alerts will do when they are broadcast, but that sounds pretty serious. So I'll leave that on. Now that one I'm gonna turn off because I think that's more about people who are driving visually can see license plates, numbers and stuff. So that one I'm gonna toggle off. Yeah, that could stay off. And then, and this will show the history. So any emergency search you may have missed. So it goes over, it keeps a history of all alerts that have been sent to your phone over, the past so many months. That'll keep it. If you want to review them and see what you may miss, you could do so. But I just showed that feature to see how easy it is to use the search box. You can hit the back button to go back. Hit the back button. And then I'm back at the main settings screen. Another thing I want to show, I'm gonna hit the home button, go to home screen. Say for instance, you want to find something specific on Amazon. I don't know, let me think. Okay, I know. So, let me go back. Okay, let me go back. Of course, that's not going to work now. Hold on. Okay, well, I didn't set up the Google Assistant, so I can't do it. But I actually want to show a feature where you could save a shortcut to your home page that goes directly to a page of search results. I did not set up my Google Assistant on this phone, so I'm not able to demonstrate that now. But what I can do is address any questions that someone may have about the Smart Vision 3, the navigation, any settings, some things I may have mentioned in the first two sessions, but again, I was throwing a lot of information out there. So feel free any questions you may have. I'm here to address them.
Thank you, Kenny. I do see
Okay.
some hands raised here.
Okay.
Hi, this is Vishnu. We have a hand raised from Betsy.
Okay.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi.
I have had a couple people this week call who got the Smart Vision 3, and it was probably, like from our first shipment that we got from Raz, where the SIM card was already in there, where the email address was assigned, and they're having a hard time getting the phone set up. Like, they say that they need a password, and they're trying to add a new email address, and they're having trouble with it. Can you give any guidance on what we should be telling people to do and how to handle that?
Okay.
And can I just ask first that I'm assuming with the new ones that are being sent out, that SIM card's no longer in there and that email address is no longer assigned, right?
Yes, well, the email address has to do with the management service to keep track of the phones in case they're lost. Again, it was a glitch with Google where they disabled a lot of accounts because a lot of them were submitted at the same time and they thought something wasn't right with the submission, so they just disabled them all. So that's why you're finding issues with the MDM service. But what you should be able to do is go into settings and go down to account and select that email address and then arrow down to remove. And you should be able to just simply remove that MDM email address and then add your own working Google email address to the phone, and that should fix any issues. Again, we apologize for that, but again, in the sense of being very helpful and making phones as easy as possible to use right out the box, sometimes little glitches will happen. That's unforeseen, and that's what happened in case of the Smart Vision 3 and these different Google addresses linked to the management service. So just go into settings, go down to account, highlight the email address, remove it, and then you can go back and add your own account, Google account, and the phone should work fine. Everything should be functional.
And where in the process would they have been asked for a password?
The password is for the MDM management email address. Is a password to log into the actual server. Again, it has to do with security to make sure the phones stay the property of Maryland, and they can be able to track them if need be. They don't just follow you, but in case something is lost, they're able to pull up in their system where the phone is and what may have happened. So that password is actually linked to the email address to log into their server, so the phone could be back in the system. So, but you should be able to delete the account without that password. But yeah, that's even if you put the password in there and went through the process of doing that, Google would have told you at the end, unfortunately, this account has been disabled due to violating Google's terms and such, and it still wouldn't have worked. So trust me, just delete it and the phone will be fine and add your own.
Okay, so the client doesn't need to know that password.
No, exactly. That's supposed to be a secure password, which they wouldn't be able to get anyway. That's supposed to just be.
Okay, well, they
Raz's
actually
really
called
knows.
Raz's customer service and they gave it to him.
Oh, that's that's
So-
interesting, but okay. But yeah, that even if they use it, like I said, you're still going to get blocked at the end by Google, bring up a message, this account has been disabled, and it still won't work. So it's just best to delete it, delete the email address, and you won't have to deal with any errors.
So if it's deleted, can it still be tracked? The
Um,
phone?
yeah, well, it still can be tracked, but just not with that email address. Again, that's something working on fixing. Contacted Google, even I contacted and sent an extensive email to Google explaining the situation. I still haven't heard back from them. That's been over a month. So, it still can be tracked, probably not as well, but it's still the MDM service is still in the background, but it just would take a little bit more effort to locate the phone without it being logged in with the email address, if I'm gonna be honest about it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have a question from Tiffany Green.
Sure.
Yes, this is a basic question, but I know when you press the lock button, unlock it, you can check the battery status. Is there another way to check the battery status?
Yes, you can hold down the the hash, which is a shortcut. So hold down the pound key to the right of the 0 and press the number 1. And that should give you the status of different things like your battery, Wi-Fi connection, different things like that.
Okay.
That's associated with a shortcut. So yeah, you can get the information that way too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any others? Okay, and another thing I want to mention, as far as going to applications, doing your update for your apps, because I do understand the Smart Vision 3, even though it's on Android 11, all the updates, the security patches are all current. So as you can see, Be My Eyes is now running a version that allows you to use Be My AI. So the operating system, Android is important, but as you can see, the apps are much more important. So please make sure to go into the applications drawer, arrow down to update apps, and keep your apps updated. You never know what surprise you may see there. Okay,
All right, I don't see any more questions.
okay,
And we are actually getting closer to the hour of 4.
all right.
I know Carmen had to leave for another meeting, so she is not on the call with us. But we do have Diane and Kenneth. If there are any more last minute questions that anyone has, feel free to ask them now. If not, I think Jane, if you are there, if you have any last minute announcements to share with the group today.
Yeah, I am here, and I just wanted to see if in preparation for coming back in January, I hope that you all saw my email about picking up Pixel in January on the Tuesday and Thursday, first week of January. And Kenny, is there anything that we need to do in preparation for that?
Well, no, just have your Pixel charged. Again, hopefully, people have gotten a chance when I mentioned about a month ago regarding talkback not speaking. And if you're still encountering that issue, you need to click on the Google TTS. A shortcut way of getting to that is just using your 3-finger, tap the screen one time, which will bring up a menu. And in that menu towards the bottom, you'll notice a TTS selection there. All you have to do is simply click on that. It would initiate the TTS servers, make the cache, and then talkback will work properly. So that's the only thing I would mention as far as the Pixel, then you shouldn't have any issues.
And I just want to specify the dates for Pixel 6 will be January 2nd. Again, we'll keep the same link and same time, same place, Tuesday on January 2nd from 3 to 4 p.m. And then on Thursday again, January 4th from 3 to 4 p.m.
Okay, great. Okay, and also just a reminder that our Hable 1, December 19th, next Tuesday, is in the morning from 9 to 10. And then Thursday, the 21st, we'll be hearing from Tandra Hunter Payne with Division of Rehab information for all of us. So thank you all so much for joining today.
Can you repeat
And-
that, Jane? The morning, is that, you said something one, and I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, the Hable One is the device that sort of looks like a Braille cell. It's in a narrow black box that's about 6 by 8 inches and about an inch thick. And that Hable One has the ability to Bluetooth connect to any of the devices that we're working with, except for maybe Mini Vision. And then provide an easier way than a flat screen to get into your device. That was the first session that we had on September 27th.
Yes, I
Um,
remember.
Yeah,
So
that
what was the date
Frank,
on that? Did you,
then-
you're scheduling it for a morning session instead of an afternoon?
Right, that has to be in the morning so that Frank can join us for that session since he's zooming in from Denmark.
That's right. So what date and time again?
That's on Tuesday, December 19th from 9 to 10.
Wow.
So today's Thursday, December 14th. Next week, Tuesday, December 19th, we'll be meeting at 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
Same link.
that definitely conflicts with me on that Tuesday morning. 'cause that's-
Yeah, a lot of us
I
are
have a class
working.
that morning as well.
Yeah, so will we be able to get credit for rewatching? Because I'm gonna be working.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
will be recording
absolutely.
the session, yes.
And Tuesday, I may not even be around for that first Tuesday in January. I didn't know it was going into January. But okay,
Okay, yeah, and any sessions that you miss are going to be up on the YouTube channel, and you can just, just email me
Okay.
and let me know that you've watched them, and then we'll count you as attending.
all right.
So the
Thank you.
21st, is Tandra going to be at the same 3 until 4?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
Thursday, December 21st will be 3 to 4. Tuesday,
Okay.
December 19th will be from 9 to 10.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And real quick, I'm sorry I'm not raising my hand, but do you all have the link to the YouTube channel that you've sent, or can you send it out?
Yes,
yeah,
it is posted
yeah.
on the university website. And so we'll share the link with everyone.
Okay.
I
Thank
believe
you.
I've shared it in the last 1 or 2 emails, but absolutely, I'll keep sharing it through those general emails to everyone.
Yeah. And thank you to all of those who have been filling out those survey links after every class. Your feedback is very valuable as we continue trying to improvise. And so some of you, if you do feel like you missed out on some of them, feel free to please continue sharing your feedback so we can continue improving with whatever few more sessions we have left. Thank you. And happy holidays, everyone. I am going to see some of you next week, but if I don't see you next week, I want to wish you all the best for your holidays and
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Exactly. I was trying to look for the new year. Yeah.
All right.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Afternoon, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
bye-bye, have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.